1905, when Rotary was started by Paul Harris, the Constitution and bylaws of Rotary International had stated that Rotary Club membership was for males only. In 1978, the Rotary Club of Duarte, California, issued a challenge to this by inviting 3 women to become members. A legal battle with the board of Rotary International was fought through both the Californian Supreme Court and the United States Supreme Courts. Both courts ruled against Rotary, and finally the board made a constitutional change at its 1989 Council on Legislation, and the male-only provision was removed. The impact on Rotary clubs worldwide was immediate. The decision in 1989 had an immediate impact upon all the Rotary clubs throughout the world. Brian Nielsen was president of the Taradale Rotary Club at this time, 1988-89, and Ross Pinkham was president of the club in 1994-95. Both of these 2 gentlemen were very much involved with the decision at our local club to admit women to the Taradale Rotary Club. Brian, what made you instigate the proceedings that happened at the club in that year?
Well, as a result of the decision taken by RI, it moved through, and the District Governors of New Zealand decided that each individual club should have a debate and have a vote on the issue.
And was there any, you had the debate in the club, and what was the feeling in the club at the time?
When you talk about debate, our debate was very, very one-sided and was not particularly robust, really. The club were very much against the introduction of women into Rotary.
I think it was something like 46 to 26 against the admission at that time. So let's go forward about 5 years, and we'll come back to Brian for further comments, but let's go forward to 5 years, 1994-95, when Ross, it was your turn as lead president of the club, and the issue was raised again.
Yeah, that's right, Warren. There was a lot more pressure from RI and also our district Rotary committees, and the presidents were again asked to go back to the club and reconsider where we were at and what had happened in the previous 5 years. So the debates that we had in the club was a little bit more vociferous this time, because they felt that there was a lot of pressure from district to maybe come forward with a positive approach to it of allowing women to be Rotary members. Yeah, we have, and it was interesting how it started off, is that we had the debate at the club, and I was home one Saturday afternoon and got a knock at the door and went round there, and Bill Beaton, charter member of the Taradale Club, was there, and he said, "Do you mind if I come in? I want to talk about women in Rotary." I wasn't quite sure what angle he was coming at. He said, "If there's going to be women in Rotary, I want to be the first to nominate one." And I said, "Oh, who's that going to be, Bill?" And he said, Pam Tremain. Wonderful. And I knew that at that stage that we would be moving on as a club to bring women into Rotary, and also improve our membership and the broad horizons of Rotary that we had.
So Bill, what prompted you to take a lead in this matter?
Well, it was just a general conversation with a person, and it crossed my mind that she was head of the company. She had the right to be in Rotary as anybody else, and I thought, well, I'll go and see Ross Pinkham, and I'll ask to go before the directors if I could go ahead and nominate Pam. He was all for it. He said that you'd take it to the directors, and then I got the clearance after that. Some of them that came and said that they didn't agree with it, I said, well, Pam's got better qualifications to be a Rotarian than you have. She's a head of a company and you're only an employee of a company. When I went to see Pam and asked her, I said if she'd be interested, and she said she would.
Members can object, and if any one of the directors supported the objection, then the nomination would lapse.
That's correct. Well, none of the directors objected to it.
Club history was made with the induction of the first woman Rotarian, Pam Tremain. 10th November 1994. Bill Beaton conducted the induction ceremony.
Everything went smooth right through, and I had no objections on that night.
I was delighted to be asked and considered my place in Rotary as a woman was going to lead into the future, and my husband had passed away, and I felt there was a place for women.
Induction night, Pam, was that an important night? As a night to remember, was it a difficult night being the First Lady there, or how did you feel?
Oh, I thought it was a great night, and it was good to be accepted into the Taradale Rotary Club where I'd always gone along as my husband's partner, and to be asked was very prestigious.
So Pam, how were you received in those early days of Rotary?
It was difficult to begin with because there was a portion of the men there that didn't want me to belong to the Rotary Club. When I came in each night, I would look around as to where I would sit and perhaps sit with different people each time I came.
The good times, there were good times and bad times for you?
It was a marvellous association.
Energetic place.
And the fairs that we had on the Saturdays for our main club raising money each year were super.
The auction days.
The times I went away with the club to the Chatham Islands, and then I went to Japan. And what I enjoyed, I think, mainly about the club was the weekly speakers. That was a very good reason for me being there, because I learnt so much about different sides of life.
So why did you leave?
I left because I felt I'd proved something to myself, that I had survived. I had proved something, that I was never going in to be their leader, and in a male-dominated club, that as a woman, I was fine.
As I mentioned, yours was a breakthrough induction into the club, and we were so proud to have you there as a member. We enjoyed your company, as I hope you enjoyed ours as well. It was a breakthrough because after you, more women joined the club.
Yes, I was pleased that more women did join the club, and they were very good women and excellent at the positions they held in society and their jobs. And I think we were a strong few women at that time.
Very much made your mark.
Indeed.
Very much did, and still remembered with a lot of appreciation and care and love. It's a very important contribution to the club. Any other comments or any other memories you have?
To thank Bill Beaton for asking me and thinking that I could make the grade, and I'm pleased to have had the association with the Rotary Club.
Pam, I think the Rotary Club of Taradale has been a much better place through having you as a member.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It wasn't an issue then, and it was great to have it.
Indeed. So now, as new members to our club, what was a men's club? They must have found that quite hard, quite awkward, but we would have looked after them, wouldn't we, Brian?
Yeah, some of those original arguments were that just having the odd woman would upset the club because we wouldn't sort of all be equal, and he even mentioned that some of the wives might object to there being women at our meeting, but really it was a non-issue.
Yeah, and we quickly moved on, and after that first year and of Pam coming into the club, we got more members came in.
Yes, Jackie Snell joined us. Janie Grant, of course, been a wonderful member of the club. So Jackie Snell, the veterinarian, was inducted into the club on the 7th of March 1996, at the same time as Janie Grant. Jackie spent 4 years as a member, resigning in May 2000. At the time there, Jackie, what was it that attracted you to join a male-dominated club?
Leith Petty approached us, and I really enjoyed what Rotary stood for and the charity organisations it helped, and we really enjoyed just the socialisation and the company, and the introductory song and the evenings that we went along to was just a great hit. Without a doubt, we really enjoyed the company and the networking, and there's no doubt it worked both ways. We certainly met a lot of lovely people that helped us out, and certainly it was good for business. They all had lots of pets.
Wonderful.
Sometimes it was quite challenging because my husband also has a very busy job, so trying to get there by 6 o'clock, I remember, with work commitments and having childcare and things, it did prove a bit challenging at times, but we had 3 children under 4 and ran a veterinary practice, so yes, definitely it proved to be just a bit too challenging. And Rotary is wonderful, and if you're involved with something, you want to put a fair share of effort in, and I felt that wasn't possible to do the job properly. Everything we did with Rotary was actually a lot of fun, and so we met a lot of lovely people, and we were sad to resign, but we would enjoy getting involved in it again in the future. But
Well, we don't sing the
near future, unfortunately.
We don't sing the welcome song.
I've heard that. That's sad.
Yeah.
I think it is, if there's one regret, it is the fact that there's not more women in the club, even though it's freely available to them.
Yeah, that's right.
We've yet to have a woman president, but give us time.
Well, I've certainly been privileged of moving on to other Rotary clubs, and 2 years ago in Dunedin, our president was a was Joanna Kimvig. Her father had been a DG down in Wellington. And
Sue Park, a very special person. You've just recently joined the Taradale Rotary Club, but you've been involved with International Youth Exchange for some years.
Yes, I've been involved for 3.5 years now. We got involved because our daughter went out in 2005. Derek, mainly they asked Derek to be involved on the committee, and as a partner you just end up by going on and you help.
Janie Grant was inducted into the club on the 7th of March 1996. Mary Riddington, inducted 4th of October 2007. Was it difficult to come into a male-dominated club?
Not so much. I guess when I came into the club, Pam Tremain was a member, and it really hasn't made any difference, I have to say, over the years. I think I found when I came in, everyone was so welcoming. It really didn't matter whether I was another guy or whether I was a girl. It's always been a really friendly, welcoming, inspirational place to be, really.
Yes, I felt quite comfortable because when I first became a lawyer, the legal practice was very much dominated by males, and so I was used to that, although that's changed now.
I think a very good thing about it is that the Rotary Club system has become more flexible over the years, as indeed it's had to, because people's lives are so much busier and things like that, and now there's a lot more leeway for, if you can't attend for a few weeks, it's not the end of the earth, and I find that helps a lot.
I'm interested in the community involvement because I'm only also new to the Hawke's Bay, and it's helped me with that opportunity to meet a wider mix of people in the community.
Things like Gourmet Experience, for example, it's doing things together. I'm sure the Dole Bell Committee finds the same thing. The old auction, Rotary auction, when we had that was just so much fun. So much work, so much fun as well. And various things like home hosting and all of those sort of things that the club does together, I think are really special.
Now, how can we attract more ladies into the club? Times are changing.
Well, as a newer member, I'd like to hand that over to Mary.
I'm sure that just with the passing of time that women will be attracted to the club. I think that there will need to be a little bit more flexibility because certainly I grew up as a working mother, and that is one of the reasons that I've joined Rotary so much later is the difficulty with not being free in the evenings. So I think that you will find that with changes in society and that there's more support there for working women, and that they are able to make that commitment to Rotary as time passes.
So, Brian, the impact upon the club, this decision in 1994-95 to bring women to the club, was it a good one?
Oh, no doubt about that. The interesting thing from my point of view was some in my year that were so directly opposed who said, if ever a woman is admitted to this club, I will resign. We had no resignations.
No, it's a wonderful thing. And we've been privileged to have many fine women in that club.
Difficult for me because there was a group of men within the club that didn't want me there. They sat in a little group together, and I would come into the room and decide, now where will I sit tonight? Because I didn't always want to sit with the people that supported me. I wanted to share myself around.
I think that does occur occasionally, even in today's age. We mustn't go down that road, must we? They won't even cuddle that. But that was good. Very good.
I think the sharing yourself around.
Yeah, I think I won't put that one in there.
Oh, I see.
No, you're right. I was wrong.
I need to say, yes, put it in other words. Well...
That's fine.
Do you want me to sort of say something like that again? Or?
Yes, you can. You can just repeat